Well, it's fantastic. Everyone has a 28-inch waist. It's just amazing to me. It's like everyone on Showtime is in this, is in Cannes.
Let me see.
Hey, Mo, smoke meat, please. So why didn't you write me any letters?
You know me. I'm not much for letters.
Oh, when Lenny worked as a camp counselor, you wrote to him every week.
That's different. He's a sensitive type.
I had never heard of the book. I'd never heard of the novel. And I got on a train, which is why I did it. I got on a train, read the book, and then spent the rest of the time on the train writing, add this, add this, add this, add this, because the novel was so rich. I thought it was a wonderful movie. I didn't like my performance. And I didn't like my performance because I had no experience in watching me for that long amount.
Black 6. No winners. 0 winners. 0. We have a winner. All right, we have a winner. You can have a little chip.
And it took me 20 years to really look at it and see it for what it was.
None of man's fantasies of evil can compare with the reality of Jaws.
I turned it down a couple of times. Then I saw Duddy and called Steven and begged for the part. I begged him.
Why?
Because I thought if that film got sold in America, I would never work again. And so I had turned Jaws down a couple of times. And then I called him from New York and said, "Have you cast it?" And he said, "No." And I said, I'll do it.
What was your hesitation about Jaws?
I don't know. I was lazy and I wanted to watch it. You know, I knew I wanted to watch the film, and I didn't know enough about movie making to understand what went into it and what didn't. And he told me the story, and he said, "You like it?" And I went, "Yeah." And he went, "You want to do it?" And I went, "No." "Why?" I said, "I'm lazy. I don't want to do it. That's going to be a bitch to shoot." Why? That's really what I mean, it was a dumb, uninformed thing
And of course,
to say.
we have to remember that back then, Steven Spielberg wasn't Steven Spielberg.
Well, even back then, though, he pretty much was.
Was he?
Yeah. He was the uncrowned king.
Really?
Yeah, I was a prince. I was a prince in L.A. and made myself a prince by turning down work because people didn't do that. And I also was a prince because I was a very good actor. But Steven, was signed to a contract before he was legally able to sign that contract. And that's how young he was. And he directed Joan Crawford before he was 21 years old. And one either lives and survives the experience or doesn't. The only time I ever badmouthed another actor to get a job was Close Encounters, because that was originally written for Gene Hackman, and I knew something about that part. And so I would walk by Steven's office and say, "Al Pacino's crazy," or whoever, Dustin Hoffman is neurotic. And I finally got the part because I said, "Steven, you need a child." And he looked up and said, "You got the part." I knew that he needed a man who had a childlike view. I asked him if I could stay on the yacht, and he said he was bringing his family. He had no room.
You are joking.
I'm not.
It's a
82 foot. Well, he's got a lot of children.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
I told Steven once that the name of the book I'll never write is called "Steven, Have They Figured Out Yet What I'm Looking Up in Awe At?"
This is the road that took us to the outer limits of a brilliant filmmaker's imagination.
and there was, you saw sharks, and aliens, and I would say, that just cost you $1,500.